Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of A Girl and Her Glock. Today we'll be discussing an issue related to gun safety, and that is why it is never safe to fire anything except for birdshot from a shotgun into the air, and why you should never fire warning shots into the air at all. And if you've been following the news lately, at least the news on the gun websites, you'll have heard of a waitress by the name of Heather Stanley. And in case you haven't heard, I'll go over her story a little bit. This is according to her own GoFundMe page, which she wrote. And she said that she was working at a Waffle House at around 2:30 a.m. and this took place in Georgia, when a couple of men came in and handed another waitress a note that said that if they did not hand over all their money, that the men were going to shoot and kill everybody in the restaurant. Now, none of the people at the Waffle House saw the men pull a gun or any sort of weapon. It was just the note. But naturally, they were scared, as anybody would be. And one of the waitresses went and emptied all of the drawers in the safe and gave the bad guys the money. And the guys left the restaurant. And this is when Miss Stanley said she decided to follow them out, and she went to her car, where she kept her gun because Waffle House does not allow their employees to carry guns on the job. And as they were getting in their car to leave, she pulled out her gun from her car, and again, this is a direct quote from her, fired a round safely into the air, apparently in the direction of the woods, which was right next to the Waffle House. And that's what I want to address, the fact that it is never safe to fire a gun in a random direction or into the air. One of the number one rules of gun ownership and gun safety is to never fire unless you know your target, what is beyond your target, and what is in line with your target. By firing in a random direction into the woods, she had no clue where that bullet would land at all. And bullets can travel a couple of miles before they actually drop to the ground. Of course, again, this was 2:30 a.m., but there are people out at 2:30 a.m. There are emergency workers. I used to be an EMT myself, and we often got calls to different places in the middle of the night. There's construction workers, there's people who are, like truckers who are traveling, and of course, I don't know what type of woods it is, but of course there could have been people out there camping. And it was very, very, very stupid of her to just fire randomly without knowing where that bullet was going to land. There's no excuse for it. I mean, if the suspects were leaving. They were not threatening her in any way directly at the time she fired. She had no excuse to fire that gun at all. It was not safe to do so. And because she did this, Waffle House fired her for violating their gun policy, which of course I disagree completely with their gun policy. I think that the waitresses there certainly should be able to carry it to protect themselves and exercise their constitutional rights. But the waitress in question obviously doesn't really know how to handle a gun safely, and that's what scares me. She definitely needs more training if she thinks that it's okay to just fire into the air or fire in a random direction without knowing what that bullet's going to hit. She could have put people's lives in danger, frankly. And so I don't want to make this video too long, but I just wanted to really drive home that point, that it's never safe to fire into the air or into any direction that you don't know where that bullet is going, or at least have a good idea where that bullet is going to land, because you could be hurting innocent people, and nobody wants that to happen. There were a couple of people around here who were shot on New Year's Eve, shot in the arm and leg by people who were firing into the air. And the one guy was so far away that he didn't even hear the gunshot. But it's not excusable. What she did was not a good idea, and I'm sorry that she got fired, but I hope that she uses the GoFundMe money, part of the GoFundMe money, to take a gun safety class and learn why what she did was not smart. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye.